So last year, I built a gaming PC at Staples. But to do so, I had to travel hundreds of miles and even take this like really tiny sketchy plane to get to the one Staples location that sold PC components. Fast forward to 2024, and apparently Staples has been rolling out some more of these tech-focused store upgrades across the entire country. And well, this Staples was only 30 minutes away from my house. And so today, we're gonna find out if it's a tech-upgraded Staples or just like a normal one with paper. So come on, let's go check it out. Feels like deja vu walking into this one. Immediately being greeted by laptops instead of just reams of paper, it does feel quite a bit nicer. It does look like this is the updated store. Back here, it looks like there's a dedicated gaming section, some peripherals, ooh, some mouses. But I'm here for the computer components. Back in Hyannis, those were actually front and center. So if we go to where those were in the other store, we're just seeing some monitors. But if we look behind that, oh, here we go, the components. So this is the updated store. They do have computer components here. It looks like the 4070 is the nicest graphics card that they have. For the Intel, so they have a 14700K. And is that the world's best thermal paste? Is that yeaster paste? Holy shit, that's so cool. Only a single motherboard, which makes sense that they only have Intel. Windows 11, we got a Samsung SSD, we got some DDR5 RAM, a fan. They also have a couple of power supplies, 850 and a 750, and it looks like the selection of two cases, both Corsair 4000D airflow and the 5000D airflow. Oh, and also a CPU AIO cooler. And while the selection does seem a bit limited because this is the only container of computer components in the entire store, the fact that they're here is a huge deal. And actually, since I'm here, let's just go ahead and build an entire gaming PC here at Staples. If I can finish and turn on the computer in the next 60 minutes before I have to leave, I will give away the computer to one of you watching right now. All right, timer starts in 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, first we gotta find an actual place to build it, because I don't wanna build it on the floor, although I could. Oh, this could work. Check it out. The tech support center is currently completely empty, and that looks like a nice solid table. Welcome to Staples Tech Support Center. Tech Support Center. I'm Mr. Yeaster. I will help you with all of your technical needs that involve using random things as thermal paste. So this should do the job, at least until we get kicked out. So let's do it. Oh, you know what? I can use Shaq as my bodyguard. We'll have him keep a lookout for us. All right, we're on a time crunch. We have 57 minutes left after finding our location and moving our Shaq bodyguard over. So let's go ahead and just breeze right through this. I want to make it quick, but I can't make it too shoddily because I do want to give this away to one of you watching. We'll go ahead and get started with the motherboard and then the CPU. Intel was our only option, so we're going to go ahead and go with Intel. Surprise, surprise. All right, you want to hear how my thermal paste, yeaster paste, is now currently being sold at Staples, the office supply store? Well, first of all, they're currently in the middle of a rebrand from the office supply store to the work and play and everything store, something like that, where they still want to sell the things that you need for work, like paper and printers, but they also want to sell stuff that you need to live, and not like food and stuff, but like computer parts, because it's fun. So after I filmed that last video in Staples, which was actually for an Intel campaign, Staples corporate reached out to me and said, hey, we want to work with you more. And we also see that you have your own brand of thermal paste. By the way, I'm using some Corsair DDR4 RAM for this motherboard. And I was like, yeah, I sure do have some thermal paste. And they're like, cool, we want to sell your thermal paste in store. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And originally they said that, and then it took a really long time to get to the brass tacks, you know? To the point where I basically thought it was dead in the water. Until a couple weeks ago, I got a call and they're like, hey, we want to order a crap ton of your thermal paste. And so it actually happened. Now it's in store in these 66 stores, which you can find on the link in the description down below. And I just realized we need to install an SSD. Let's go find one of those. This Samsung 1TB 990 Pro should do the trick. Ah, perfect. Let's use that. Pretty nifty transition, huh?
Nope.
It's times like these where I really wish I had a pair of scissors. You know, ultimately, when we think about where you can buy physical PC components in store, I'm pretty sure everyone, at least in the United States, thinks of Micro Center immediately. And selection-wise, man, Micro Center has a lot of stuff. But the one fault of Micro Center is that there's only 20 stores across the entire country. And so this is where I feel like Staples is trying to play. If you don't know, there are currently 1,000 Staples stores across the United States. Now, granted, like I said, not all of those are currently, rolled out to have all these computer components and tech stuff, but that's kind of their plan. That's where they're getting at. And if we're being honest, Staples is never going to be a Micro Center. They are currently targeting a much different audience, although there is overlap. If anything, Staples currently with this new rollout seems to be more like a Best Buy than a Micro Center. But the fact it's just another place to buy computer components is a win for all of us. So we should be celebrating this. All right, for the cooler, again, we're just going with this Corsair. We have the Pollack XT, Pollack. All right, so now we'll go ahead and install the AIO. It's been 15 minutes or so. We have 43 minutes left. I think we're gonna cruise this. So stick around if you wanna figure out, you know, how to enter the giveaway. Now, this Corsair AIO does come with some pre-applied thermal paste, but you already know what we're gonna do. One of you guys want to apply the thermal paste?
I'll do it.
Yeah? All right, we got the regional district manager applying thermal paste. The key with thermal paste, it's more about quantity than a pattern. Just gotta press and pull. Look at that. You're a natural. You're a natural.
Look at that.
That'll do the trick. Perfect.
Awesome. All right, I can say I helped you.
The power of thermal paste, bringing people together. And look at that, we got thermal paste on our CPU. We're rocking, baby. One thing that I did for the first 500 units that are being sold at Staples is I hand wrote a number for each one. So if you happen to come to one of the 66 stores that does sell yeaster paste and you buy a yeaster paste, let me know which number you got. Send me a photo of it because I want to see. I'm curious who got number 1, who got number 500, you know? So now we need to wipe off the existing thermal paste on our AIO so we can install it onto our CPU. And as a time check, we have 40 minutes left. We're cruising, baby. Although I don't have a napkin to wipe this off with. Let's see, what random stuff can we find behind the Staples Tech Center? Surely they won't miss one of their brochures, right? Normally I'd recommend using a paper towel for this, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's called being adaptive. Honestly, one of the most frustrating parts about building a PC is putting on the AIO because you always have to have like a very specific bracket in order for it to adhere properly onto the motherboard. I haven't really figured out like the perfect tricks for it all, but you know, every time we figure out a way to make it work. But eventually the stars do align. While we're here, now's a good time to install the CPU fans onto the AIO. Something like that. Perfect. We'll install that one as well. All right, this is all prepped, but we're not actually gonna install it fully yet. We actually need to break out the case. You know, we only have 2 choices, either the Corsair 4000D or the 5000D. Let's just go with the 5000D. Should be more than good enough for the job. Okay, case time. Now the trick about cases is to open them like upside down. Instead of just trying to pull up the case, just flip it over and let gravity do the work. Just like that. It's like magic. Low-key a pretty chill place to build a PC, not gonna lie. Now this is a full-size ATX case and we have like a micro ATX motherboard, so it might look a little small, but it'll get the job done. All right, so I have never built in this case before, but hopefully it's easy to build with because we only have 30 minutes left. Pops off easy enough. Can't forget about the AIO shield. Almost did forget about it. Go ahead and slam that sucker in here. You know, one thing I will say, I typically don't recommend spending too much money on a motherboard because kind of all does the same thing, but I do appreciate motherboards that have like the pre-installed shield so you don't have to, you know, plug it in separately. And I just realized we need to get some screws out of this case. Yes, we got a whole assortment of goodies, yes. We got some cable management straps, which doesn't matter because I'm not gonna cable manage. If you win this PC, it might be messy, but it will be functional. That I can guarantee. So now back on track, we should be able to screw down our motherboard. And, you know, the other thing that I've noticed in the Staples so far is they have like a selection of gaming monitors. There's like some nice ones too, like these Asus gaming monitors. Actually, if I get permission, I'm gonna give away some of those as well. So keep watching. All right, so motherboard is now firmly secured. I think I'm gonna install the AIO next. Let's just get that out of the way. I typically like working with cases where you can like completely remove the top. Perfect. Just makes it way easier to install the AIO. So with this, if we line it up correctly, we'll just slide it down. And check that out, there's even holes for the like fan cables. That's sick. You know what, I'm actually gonna install this a bit differently so we have the radiator right underneath and the fan sticking up. Although we are running a little low on time, we gotta step it up, oh no. I'm instead going to install the fans on the underside so we can see them because they are RGB on the inside of the case. So now we can go ahead and squash down our AIO and secure it with some screws. It's all coming together. And we are kind of running out of time. We have 11 minutes left. Oh no, that AIO took way longer than I thought. We're gonna have to speed through this power supply. Which, speaking of, we're going to go ahead with the Corsair 750. Should be more than enough power for our components. More than enough, more than enough. So for this build, we're definitely going to need CPU power. That's a given. Go ahead and plug that into CPU. We're also going to need PCIe power for our graphics card. Okay, and with that, our power supply is fully cabled. Now we just need to plug it into our computer. Now remember, the power supply fan should be facing outside of the case. It should never be facing inside of the case. So here we're gonna face it downwards because there are vents at the bottom of this case. We are getting crunched on time. Oh my goodness, 7 minutes to go. This might come down to the wire. Okay, let's go, let's go. So we'll go ahead and screw this into our case so it doesn't move. That'll make cable managing a bit easier. All right, I'm gonna focus up and stop talking. Let's do a montage of cable management. We only have 3 minutes. We need this GPU installed yesterday. A 4060 going in hot. We're cutting it real close, oh my goodness. Gotta stay cool, calm, and collected under pressure. All right, I was right, this is just an 8-pin connector. Less pins to plug in, that works for me. Okay, I think everything is plugged in. We have 30 seconds left. I just need to find a way to plug this in. That looks promising. Now we just gotta make sure all the fans are plugged in properly and we should be good to go. It's not plugged in. Okay, that's plugged in. Press the power. Yes, it turns on. Oh, let's go. Easy peasy. Which means now we're gonna give away this PC to one of you watching. So there you go. We successfully built a gaming PC at Staples, of all places. Now, the cable management, I will admit, is not the prettiest. I'll do my best to tidy it up before I ship this off to whoever wins it, but you know, it works. So we'll go ahead and leave it at that. I will also be sure to throw in a copy of a Windows key. I haven't activated this or anything, but I will toss it in so that, so that you can actually just start using it when you get the PC. Let's see, how should we do this? To be considered for the PC giveaway, and I actually might give away some Asus peripherals as well, including a gaming monitor, some earbuds, maybe a mouse pad, stuff like that. So if you want to be considered for these giveaways, first of all, make sure you're subscribed and like this video. I'll also leave a link in the description down below for the formal way to enter. It'll likely be on Gleam, where you can basically get multiple entries for doing various things, like following me on Instagram, following me on TikTok, subscribing to me on YouTube, following Staples and their socials, and all of that is no purchase necessary. You can just go ahead and click that link and join the giveaway there. But if you want to get an extra point, if you take a picture of yourself with some yeaster paste, I'll also give you some points for that as well. Now, I will likely have to limit this to the 50 US states, so unfortunately, anyone international, we'll have to figure out a giveaway to do with you guys next time. But with that, what do you guys think of this Staples PC build? Kind of cool that you can come in and just buy computer parts here. And while you're at it, I guess, buy a printer and some reams of paper. It's also probably worth checking out some of their laptops here. Here we have one of the newer Copilot Plus PCs from Asus, which are like all the new rage here. So, if you have a Staples nearby that has one of these upgraded tech selections, might not be the worst place to come check out. They also got an Apple dock as well. And I honestly just still can't believe that yeaster paste, my thermal paste brand, is being sold in Staples. That's so cool. Okay, and then here's also like some of these Asus gaming monitors, gaming peripheral stuff. I do think I'll be giving away some of this as well. So again, check that link in the description down below. But I mean, like, this is some solid actual gaming PC setup type stuff here. All right, again, huge shout out to Staples for letting me like take over their store and just build randomly inside of the like tech support center. This was super fun. Again, if you want a chance to win this PC and potentially a lot of other cool stuff, check out the description below. Make sure you're subscribed, like this video. And as always, I'm Mr. Yeaster, your tech tinkerer, and I'll catch you in the next one. Woo!